Good afternoon, Speed Gaming, and welcome to week 1 of the Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 2. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Coy. How you doing, Coy?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, Tracy. Now, it may be confusing for some of our viewers that this is still week 1, because there have been like 1,000 races already, but it's only because we have 1,000 teams and 1,000 players.
Whole lot of Link to the Past going on this week. Whole lot of open mode, so...
This is going to be like non-stop for 7 weeks. It's going to be amazing. Constant streams of constant amazing players, of constant amazing races. And this is only the beginning.
And today we have the Last Locationers versus the Sexy Ganons. I don't believe either of these teams has played yet. We have Goomba versus Freddeh.
Yeah, I believe the zeros up at the top is their score so far. I guess maybe they both played, but both lost. That could happen too.
Goomba with the Naya name there.
Nah. Nah. I'm not sure how to pronounce that tilde. Yeah, tilde.
But yeah, this is open mode, so typical 7-7 defeat Ganon. Nothing strange going on. A lot of the settings in later weeks should be pretty interesting, but yeah, we're going to start out with a pretty normal first week.
Yeah, we gotta ease everybody in, you know. We can't just start off with the crazy settings. We gotta go normal and then make it more crazy as we move on.
And both runners doing Sanctuary, but Freddeh going ahead and reset right after that. Probably going to go over to Link's house and pick up the item there, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely a less common play to see that. Typically, the typical start, if you start a Sanctuary, is to do what Goomba's doing and walk over here and check like the bush crab or a tree pole and so on.
Yep.
But Freddeh's taking his 50 rupees and going after the 50-50 bombs in those bushes. This can, like, it's not going to be too impactful even if he gets really bad RNG, but like if you get good RNG here, this is a pretty fantastic start. And wow! Wins both of those 50-50 rolls, moving on without a single screen transition. That's awesome for Freddeh.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Goomba, the bush crab just dropping single rupees, so not a whole lot of help there. Oh, is that a mirror?
That is a mirror.
It's a mirror. Well, Aga almost certainly required. I suppose there is these small possibility of Swamp as a pendant that doesn't need to be gone into, but
yeah, I mean it's certainly possible that we don't
happen.
need the mirror, but it's not really possible. Like we're gonna kill Aga.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like even if Swamp isn't required, like you still want to kill Aga here because you're going to want that mirror for unlocking a bunch of other locations.
And there's also the possibility that Desert could be locked behind that mirror depending on where the book is. And we do see some flippers on Freddie's side, so that's a good pickup for him. Also a good indication that Swamp very well could be required because of those flippers.
Goomba gets a tier 3 pull as well. It's just arrows there. So no help from Lost Woods as far as getting bombs goes. So Goomba goes ahead and save and quits. Maybe going after those bushes anyway. He does have rupees though. You can just like walk over to Sahasrara and buy bombs on the way. That's another common play. And that's what he's doing.
Yeah, 2 fairly non-standard starts here. But now we do see Freddeh in Kakariko, and he's going to go ahead and farm some bombs here. Oh no, he's going to buy some bombs. This is not the farm spot, it's the buying bombs.
Goomba sees Bow on the Hylia Island as well. So that's 2 major progression items we've seen in places we can't get to them. And they're both items that we may not need for a while.
Yeah, that unless you can mimic clip, that bow is 100% needed. Even if Pod ends up being a pendant. And we do see that Eastern is a pendant, so may not need to kill those, get to the Armos Knights. And we do see a sword on Freddie's side, so...
There is a world where Swamp and both bow dungeons are pendants, and you can mimic clip.
Yes, there is that world. That world exists.
And then you get to skip both of them.
My guess is that's not going to happen here.
Yeah, probably
just
not.
A hunch.
we're probably killing that guy because
Although this is version 31, there could be another bow available somewhere. I mean,
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
there is another bow available somewhere,
that
but
may
it could
just
be
end
in
up being
GT.
silvers.
And there it is.
Oh, whoa, look. with the
Well,
bow.
never mind.
Okay, so I'm no longer worried about the Hylia Island. So Goomba's still not wanting to go to Kakariko here, heading down south with his bombs. This is a pretty, it's not too uncommon to see players do this, like put off Kakariko for a long time. The idea here is that you can find like the bottle or a flute to make your Kakariko trip better, but there isn't that many things that's going to make your South Sword trip better. Mostly just like boots, flute, weapon. But, 9 bombs, that's good enough.
And not a whole lot in the Blind's hut. Got one more check there. Well, 300 rupees pre-Zora is not bad.
Yeah, rupees are commonly a point of contention in the early game of these seeds. Especially when you have flippers already, Oh, speaking of the flute.
Well, there's that flute. It's a rather
Right
convenient
outside.
spot for it. Bottle vendor holding the goods there.
So interestingly, Goomba going over to Agina's cave following the dam rather than Mini Moldorm cave. This kind of tells me he's going for more thorough routing today. Maybe he feels confident in his execution against Freddeh, and just wants to make sure he doesn't get burned.
No, when you have only 3 hearts, a container heart's not bad, but it's not exactly what he's looking for.
It might be the other way. Maybe he doesn't feel confident in his execution, and he's trying to steal the win. I don't think that's very common for Goomba, though. You'd say that if I was doing it. Yeah.
Okay, looks like he's gonna head over to Mini Moldorm now and do at least that check. Maybe head over to Ice Rock Cave afterwards. Hasn't picked up those flippers yet, so he's not gonna be able to go right to. It's kind of nice to go out of Ice Rock Cave, jump into the water, and go ahead and do those flippers checks. He won't be able to do that though.
Yeah, it's not gonna be too big a deal. Like it's still pretty fast to do the flipper checks, just starting from Blink's house and swimming over to Hobo.
And if he ever gets to Kakariko, he will get that flute.
Goomba having a little trouble with these Mini Moldorms. They're not cooperating as much as he'd like. Gets a nice double kill on the left, though. And nice bomb
there's
refill.
a book. And there's a nice book. Could point them over to Desert.
Yeah, the book for Goomba, though, is a little bit of a slap in the face because he's already done Agina's
Yep.
cave, so like to follow the book, he has to walk over past Agina's cave again, which is a little inefficient. Of course, he didn't know he was going to find the book here. He was just hoping.
Well, again, hopefully he goes to town first and gets that flute so he can just flute over to the area. Save him a little bit of time compared to just walking all the way from Link's house.
Yeah, it's a little early to follow the book. Definitely. You might see him do it, but it's unlikely.
The real problem is you don't have a fire source to get to the back. You don't have gloves to open the back. I mean,
you don't even have a reliable weapon to kill the popos. Like, so he'd have to be dropping bombs just to get to the map chest or whatever it is. What is that?
And no boots.
Yeah, and the torch as well. Gets a powder for his trouble.
My favorite fetch quest item because it actually has use outside of the fetch quest. It's a nice luxury item. But can't turn it in yet because no hammer.
Alright, already having done Lost Woods and Sanctuary, Goomba's gonna head over to Kakariko from the south like Freddeh did before. He will get his flippers and then move on to Kak. But not getting Freddeh's RNG loses both of those 50-50 rolls. Luckily, he does have those 4 bombs already, so not a big deal.
We are going to get a new check over here underneath the bridge at the Hobo.
Yeah, Hobo's just one of those locations where it's never nice to route in.
No.
Like, even the nicest time to route it in, it still feels like you're going out of your way to do this.
And we get a fetch quest out of it.
A rude fetch quest because we've already like walked over in
Been
that
there.
area. The only nice time to get shovel is in Kakariko or right before Kakariko.
Yep. Or in the dig game, because then you're right there with a mirror, because then you can just mirror when you check Stumpy or something like that in that area. Or just a vanilla Stumpy location.
Freddie making the call to follow that shovel immediately. Gonna make sure that it's nothing. This is I like this play. I like doing fetch quests as soon as you get them in this early game. Fortunately, just a piece of heart today. What is this sprite Freddie has, by the way? It's like,
I have no
it's like
idea.
a creepy alien. Well, I don't know what this is. Some game.
Maybe someone in chat can enlighten us, because I don't know either. Oh, it's an Ori sprite. One of those games that I need to play and I haven't yet.
It's actually a really fantastic game.
That's what I've heard.
I'm playing that.
Oh, and there's our glove in the waterfall fairy. So those flippers, definitely necessary.
Yeah, nice find there for Freddie. He does not have enough rupees for Zora, though.
Nope. I should say logically necessary, not definitely, because you could fake flipper there if you had the Moon Pearl. Of course, we don't know where that Moon Pearl is.
Like, I don't think Freddie's too worried about Zora because he already got like that really nice progression item from those flippers. But it will be looming over him for time to come.
And he doesn't yet know where that mirror is. I don't think he's checked. He hasn't checked Lumberjack, to my knowledge.
No, he has not. I don't, like in practice, checking Lumberjack before you can get it typically doesn't end up helping you all that much. Because, like, you need the boots to get it anyway. Most people just wrap in checking Lumberjack with having the boots.
Yep.
But it can absolutely help, like, Goomba, when he gets access to Aga, he's not going to be afraid to go do Aga. He won't put off doing Aga for a long time because he knows that it's going to be required, even if he doesn't quite have the boots yet.
In the meantime, we see Freddie getting a hook shot, so we'll see if maybe he'll go up to the mountain now. Go to Paradox Cave, get a whole lot of checks over there on the east side. And that's exactly where he's heading. This one check, of course, is out of logic without the lamp, but it's one of the easier dark rooms, so shouldn't have any trouble here.
You just see him pull his sword out before walking in. Dude, I do that all the time. It's because that's how you normally do it if you're doing like a regular dark room inside a dungeon. But in the overworld, your sword charge doesn't last through the transition. So like you just wasted like half a second or something for no reason. And Goomba picking up all his rupees. Unfortunately, doing South Shore first didn't really help him all that much this seed. Didn't even find rupees from it. I think rupees are the big concern here for why Goomba's going to do this instead of the flipper checks. Like, he knows flippers probably lead to something, like they typically do when you get them this early. But, man, you'd really like to route in Zora with that. I'd like to see him do a tree pull here, because we've definitely seen the tier 1 and the tier 3, and he should have a tier 2 pull ready to go. And it might be 80 rupees. Freddie sees Hammer up there in Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, we want that.
Yeah, that's pretty important.
And a Moon Pearl.
Moon Pearl finds Goomba in, or the other way around. Goomba finds the Moon Pearl.
Well, how do you know the Moon Pearl wasn't looking for him, you know?
It wasn't trying very hard, just sitting in that chest. Like, how long does it take to know whether or not Goomba's in that room?
Let's see. Freddie's saving, quitting. Going back to Sanctuary. Oh, he's just gonna go straight to the Dark World. I'm a little surprised he doesn't do the East Death Mountain checks. Perhaps that into Tower of Paris, since that is a crystal. Oh, he did, going to the Old Man Cave. He just decided to reset to it. That may be a little faster. I'm just not sure.
I think he was. He just didn't want to do the bomb jump, I guess.
Yeah, it could be.
It's not like the most common bomb jump or anything, like to get out of Spectral Rock Cave right there. But it would be faster than saving and quitting to do that. The other concern is that you lose yet one more heart before coming over here, and Dead Rocks can ruin your day if you get
Yeah,
over here
they
with
sure
two
can.
hearts.
Okay, bottom of Paradox Cave. A cape. And 20 rupees.
Well, the cape's all they need to be able to do Aga. Of course, they have to do it in the dark right now, so I think...
yeah, not even a fire rod to help them. Not even a fire rod to help them out.
Dark Aga is very, very rarely worth doing. But like, if we find the boots here, but not the lamp, I might see Goomba doing something like that.
I mean, this is exactly the kind of situation where you might do it. Is when when you're doing it for the item and not for the Dark World access.
Yeah, like if you know it's going to be required and you can get something from it right now. We would need the boots for it to really be worth it, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Goomba doing the Death Warp here. He's going to go check out the back of Escape as well. He has already found the small key of Hyrule Castle, so he can actually go through these dark rooms all the way to the back. So this is going to end up being a time loss for him versus Freddeh, because Freddeh already found those gloves, so he'll just be able to drop into the back.
And we do see a Hera play coming up. Between the two runners, we have Dark World access. Freddeh with the hammer and the gloves, and Goomba with the Moon Pearl, but neither one has it by themselves.
Yeah, it shouldn't take too long for these players to walk over each other's steps.
Absolutely.
And the interesting thing is when Freddeh makes his way to front of Escape, he's going to get the Moon Pearl before actually dipping into front of Escape, so we might see him just nope out of the Escape altogether.
That could be. And some number of rupees. Rupees are nice to pick up in a dark room because you know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah. The other point of contention here is when Goomba gets his Dark World access from that hammer, he's going to have access to a location that Freddeh's not going to be able to do right now, and that's Spike Cave.
And we are going to see a Hera pot here. I don't believe he did pick up the big key, so this is actually ironically where I don't like the Hera pot as much, because you have that potential of that item being in the big chest, having to come back and get it.
He may be agreeing with you, Tracy, but unfortunately, Hera pot is his only way up the tower right now.
Right? No fire.
So it's either don't kill the boss across the dungeon or leave. Hera pot or leave. Those are your options.
Yeah. Okay. So if you can do a Hera pot here, it makes a lot of sense. But you still leaving that chest behind kind of sucks.
Oh, Goomba going to the mountain before Flipper checks. Still missing those rupees. So this means that Goomba will not be able to do Spike Cave. He's not going to have that glove. Probably for the better overall, because the way the mountain routing is going to work out, where you have to go east and then up and then west. If he did have the glove, he'd be choosing between either doing Spike Cave or Spiral Cave. Where, like in Freddie's situation here, like Spike Cave's not an option, so you don't feel bad about going back for Spiral Cave. Nice hammer fight there, very quick.
And
on the boss.
Do believe we have an item?
Yeah, there's definitely an item behind him, because he didn't get one in the front. And
right,
then,
that's what I was thinking. And then it was
one of the
a
two
small
at the top
key.
was a compass. I don't know what was in the map, or not the map chest, but the shoot. What's in that chest? The compass, I guess. The compass chest. I don't know. I don't know what that was. Goomba finding his hammer, gonna hop down to it. And Freddeh, without access to Spike Cave, gonna walk back for Spiral Cave. Now this is a location we might see Goomba skip, just by virtue of Spiral Cave without the boots being slow. But so far Goomba's routed pretty thoroughly, like going to a Gina's Cave really early like that, doing the entire front of escape before like you really have to.
Yeah, Spiral Cave feels bad without boots. And it's
Well,
just bombs, so if he does skip it, he'll be okay.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'm not a big fan of the Spiral Cave skip because it is one of those locations that's really hard to route in later.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Because like every time you come here after this right now, you're always coming up the hookshot side.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna get at least an eastern area play from Freddeh. Don't know if he's gonna go into the dungeon or not.
It does make sense that he's coming here instead of doing a front of escape, even though like we know a front of escape has the move pro. But like he already has the cape and a sword, so if he goes to the like from his perspective, this might be an Aga seed, right?
Yep.
And if he goes to the front of escape too early and he doesn't get the lamp there, then now I have to walk back again to do Aga later.
Yeah, we know he's not going to get the lamp there. We who knows where that lamp is going to be? Because when it's Aga for the item, there's no guarantee that lamp is going to come before your Dark World axes. In fact, it hasn't so far. Between the two runners, they have the Dark World axes. Just not either one by themselves yet.
Yeah, Eastern's not too bad here. It is green pendant, so just a little more valuable than normal. But, it would have been nice if this was a crystal at least.
He could choose not to finish it. We'll see if he does or not. I mean, with it being the green pendant, I think it's a little more likely to just go ahead and finish it off.
If I get something nice enough in these first two chests, I am out of here. 100%.
Yeah, you know what? Me too. But we'll see what they do.
It has to be something really nice though, like mitts. If I get mitts in the first two chests, I'm gone. Bombos ain't gonna
Bombos
do it.
isn't that it.
No.
Isn't that item.
You gotta keep clear, man. No way.
We may or may not need that Bombos.
I think just by virtue of him, we know him not getting the pearl here. He'll probably full clear this.
Yeah, that's a good very yeah. A Moon Pearl would definitely get me out of here, but we're not gonna find that here. We've already seen 2 items. That makes it a little bit harder. If I get those, if I get 3 items right away, and it's like, well, there's still one more item, and it's the green pendant.
Yeah, and I have to go through a dark room to do
Yep.
it. Like, ugh. I mean, what are the chances, right? How often is green pendant required? Come on. Sometimes you gotta play the odds. Goomba also going after this hair pot.
Well, we do see a compass in the big chest, so we are going to at least see the dark room here.
Okay, there's a piece of heart in the compass chest of Hera. Or what I'm assuming is the compass chest. I'm trying to think about it. I think it has to be the compass chest, right? Because like in vanilla, there's only 2 items, so it's Moon Pearl in the big chest and Heart Container on the boss. Small key in the basement cage. Well, less friendly mold arm there for Goomba, but he still does it really fast.
It's very nice to have that hammer there if you don't have a sword other than the fighter sword.
Oh, and Freddie's trip over to Vanilla Big Key ends up being worth. There was a chance this was just the map, which is usually very disappointing that you just sequence broke to a map. But at least he gets one of the item locations out of the dungeon.
It looks like he is going to go ahead and get that green pendant, though.
Yeah, he's not leaving no stone unturned. It's kind of a frustrating dark room here. with these popos. The popos do have different RNG they can follow, and sometimes they just walk right into your face, and there's nothing you can do about it. Having a sword does make this quite a bit easier. Freddie gets his key down to half a heart.
Oh my god. One thing he could have done, he could have gone down into one of those pots and get a fairy refill. Chose not to do that, said, I'm fine, and sure enough, he gets all the way through it.
Yeah, I definitely am a big fan of, if anything at all ever goes wrong in that room, get out as fast as you can.
Yep.
Reset the RNG. But Freddie makes it through half a heart. Does not dismayed. All right, Goomba now has the rupees. He is going after those flipper checks. So we're actually going to see the Zora check now.
So the statement that he could have used bombos, I'm pretty certain the Igors have to be moving for the bombos to destroy them. Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, you definitely can't kill them while they're frozen. I'm not sure if it hits them if they're moving, though. I can't say I've ever tried. But it would have been useful just to kill the popos, because those are the things that ruin everything. As long as you stay lined up on the bottom wall, the Igors won't come get you, and you can safely maneuver until you find where the one you want to kill is, and then step up and only activate that one.
Okay, we get the green pendant checked and the Zora check right at the same time. I love this. Oh, just 10 arrows on the green pendant. And Zora has for us blue mail.
Nice.
Well, I mean, it's
nice.
It's a nice safety. You know,
like,
you're not going to turn that back.
You'll often see players of this caliber skip blue mail, but not when it's right there.
Yeah.
Like your sprite is literally touching it. You can't skip that.
You might skip it if it's on race game.
So this is actually really fantastic for Goomba because he managed to find his Dark World access without dipping into Eastern, which we found out from Freddeh is completely worthless.
Unless that bomb is required.
Yeah, Goomba may be ending up giving that time back later if he goes into Eastern at a later time, but for now. Yeah. Oh, and it's pendant pod too. I was gonna say he might make when he's doing Crystal Pod, he might just be Eastern just to look for something, but yeah, I think he's gonna be avoiding Pod too.
And we do need to get that mirror, so this is confirmed now an Agar required seed. Since Swamp is a crystal.
Bottle Cave has 2 out of 5 with bottles.
In some sense, I'd probably rather just see the Swamp as a crystal and just have to go get that mirror than maybe Swamp could have something, or maybe a mirror spot could have something, but I'm not going to go to Aga yet because we don't know. So just rip the Band-Aid off. We have to do it when we get a chance.
I might put it off for a little bit if Swamp's a pendant, but I mean, it's really uncommon to have a mirrorless seed altogether.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
The mirror is available. Alright, so Goomba after Hype Cave heading west here. He's not going to be able to go very far, though. Just check Dig Game and Stumpy and then have to save and quit. Unless he finds the mitts. If he finds the mitts, then he can continue this route. Sometimes you'll see players from Hype Cave go up to Catfish or into Pod instead, but Pod being a pendant, and where are reds? Meyer, Schoolwoods. Yeah, I like the walking up to Catfish in this situation.
And there's our other bottle.
All the bottles. So my main concern with walking up to Catfish is, am I going to be orphaning Pyramid Fairy by doing this? But when you find out that the reds include Meyer, which is locked by so many items, it's really unlikely Pyramid Fairy is going to be required this seed. So I feel pretty confident in going up to Meyer and going up to Pyramid Catfish and just writing off Pyramid Fairy as a thing I'm never going to do.
And Pyramid Ledge just having bombs, so not any worth there. And we'll get a sick kid check here. And he doesn't have a whole lot of money.
Oh, Freddie's actually doing pyramid into pod here. Now this is
That's interesting.
This is a big play. So I imagine like he mostly feels confident about this because he has the bow, but it didn't lead to anything in Eastern.
Yeah.
Like despite locking an item location and the green pendant, the bow gave him nothing to show for it. So he's thinking that bow, it's gotta be worth.
And, and we did see in the tournament it was not uncommon to have stuff in pod, in pendant pod in particular. I tend to prefer, if there's a crystal dungeon that I can full clear, like say Thieves Town, I tend to prefer doing that first. Oh, did he just lose Kiki?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Kiki doesn't like it when you take damage.
I like it in this situation though for Freddie. I'd like it more if he had the lamp. Like I always feel more confident about a dipping pendant pod if I also have the lamp to go with my bow. But like the only crystal dungeon you can go do right now is Thieves Town, which is, while Thieves Town doesn't get any better if you have other items, the checks around Thieves Town do. So like we have Mitts and Mirror. We can do like Smith Sequence as well. If we have the Fire Rod, we can pair it with doing Skull Woods, things like that.
And we do see it's not initially bow locked, which honestly, if I have the bow and I'm dipping pod, I kind of want it to be bow locked. I feel like there's more likely going to be something useful there. It could just be confirmation bias though. And bombs on pedestal. So no Ped C today, chat. Sorry.
It's unfortunate with that early bow and 2 bow locked pendants.
And we're still not bow locked.
Yeah, the contents of the bow lock site is going to tell us how much of this dungeon is logically locked behind the bow. If we find just one small key on the bow lock side, then the only other thing that's bow locked is the boss. But if we find 2 small keys, then we know that anything we find in the dark maze or the harmless hellway will also be considered blocked by that bow. Of course, I guess that's not too impactful because like we have the bow. But I don't know. I think it's fun to think about. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
I came to this dungeon because of the bow. I want to know if that bow actually led to something. Goomba continuing with what appears to be like thorough routing. The whole seat so far, he's been very thorough with his routing. Like doing
a lot of runners.
Here,
doing the front of skull was a lot of runners will compare this just to an overall check. I personally tend not to like it as much in that sense, just because there's so many keys in Skull Woods, you might not find anything here. But really, in the end, it's not that much different. And once he gets the Fire Rod, he'll just be able to go to the back and just finish it off if he finds 2 items here, and that's always nice.
So Freddie only finds 1 small key on that right side of pod, so only the boss is going to be bow locked besides these 2 checks. But he did also find a bow locked sword. Hello, Master Sword.
It's a nice pickup.
Goomba finds his first item in the front of Skull Woods, just some rupees though. And he's walking out and dropping in the hole. Did he not get a small key?
I don't think he did.
Oh, he didn't go after the
you didn't get the you didn't get the pot key.
What was in the vanilla big key chest, like map or compass?
I didn't see. I was watching Freddie's side.
Goomba menu. Goomba menu. I need you to menu. Can you not hear me? Okay, he finds the second item.
Now he still needs that key if he wants to get out, though, because he did drop down instead of going into the regular entrance. Otherwise, he'd only be able to save and quit.
Yeah, it seems inefficient what he did. Like, he walked past that chest that ended up having his small key. But that's a really common routing choice there, because you're expecting to continue having to check things. So you go up to check the top chest first, so that when you go back to the middle room, there aren't holes everywhere.
Okay, I saw a small key in the rupee basement. Didn't quite see what the other item was.
I missed Bumper Cave. Probably nothing.
I didn't see it either.
I was busy.
It's a problem when your commentators are both watching the same stream and we both miss the same thing.
All right, well,
Okay,
Freddie's
chat
given us
says a
lots
heart
of
piece.
menus. Chat's given us lots of menus, so we can confirm no Quake, no Mitts, no Mushroom in that the Dark Rupee basement. And Freddie's gonna go through the Dark Maze here backwards. So, like the main reason to do the hammer jump in pod for typical rando is to avoid a death warp. So does this mean that Freddie's gonna kill Pendant Helmosaur?
She could. Well, he's down to 1 heart.
Because like going through the Dark Maze backwards is generally considered more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So like you don't want to do it, but you do it if it makes your route faster. No, he's saving.
Like he's saving quitting.
I don't know why he did the hammer jump then, because like he just made it harder for no reason. I mean, if you're good enough, then there isn't really a big difference between like a hard thing and an easy thing, right?
Hmm. And we're gonna get that Thieves Town play from Goomba here. Got a nice Sankart over there in the chess game. And we already see the small key, so it's a good thing we do have that hammer. I don't care whether I have the hammer or not, I'd never want to see that small key in a chest.
Does it bother you that much if you?
Not that much, but it's
I mean, you have the hammer. I mean, it's fine.
But it's nice to be able to skip the big chest if you can.
I'd be annoyed if it was like pendant thieves. It's like,
for sure.
I didn't want to go to the back at all. I don't care.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. Oh, there's our lamp.
Hey, Aga access. So Freddie will have a sword advantage for a time moving forward. There was nothing else in pod, so it's it's certainly likely that Goomba just never makes his way over there. If Bombos ends up being required, we will probably see pod before Eastern for Goomba, though.
Yeah, I could see that. Goomba getting that lamp, though. We'll see how quickly he decides to go to Aga. He still doesn't have boots to go pick up the item, and Fighter Sword Aga kind of sucks. So, yeah, if you can go there with a gold sword and just fly through it, that's really nice.
Yeah, he doesn't really have much reason to go kill Aga right this second. Like, and the longer he puts it off, the more likely is to find something nice that's going to make the trip faster. Like you're saying, like a better sword or the fire rod, silvers, things like that. Well, he won't find silvers, but
yeah, he won't get silvers, but that is a nice thing to have there.
So we may see him do it before boots, when he's ready to like check the pyramid, right? So if he finishes up Thieves Town and Village of Outcasts and he doesn't find anything, he'll be thinking, okay, well, I mean, my next play could be like pyramid into catfish. Well, I'll just kill Aga, and then that'll put me on the pyramid, and I don't have to walk up from the warp south of Link's house.
And also knowing that there's not going to be anything there other than just having to kill Aga. If he's having to think hard about what he's going to do next, that's kind of a little break where you just kind of muscle memory through the dungeon and you can kind of think about your next move and figure it out what it is by the time you're done. Goomba is going to have to be a little careful with his health here, down to 1.5 hearts.
Yeah, he messed up a little bit in that room. If you walk up, lined up against the barrier there, when you walk north in that room, the ZX does not hit you. It's a really awkward room to do well because there's so many different RNGs you have to deal with. I don't think Goomba's too worried though. He knows that there's some hearts in these pots as well. If God forbid the worst happens. So where is our progression then?
That's
'Cause
a
we know it's not Pot on Eastern. We know it's not Pyramid.
well. There it
Oh,
is.
there it is. We found,
Vanilla-
okay, it was Thieves Town after all. Vanilla Mitts.
Let's be glad. Definitely glad it's a crystal then, because
Yeah, so much for the
pendant
possibility of
Pen of Thieves. I mean,
I mean it's not like completely unlikely that Goomba will like make his way over to Pot and Eastern from here. Like he has bow lamp, like it's a lot of checks between those two dungeons. He hasn't been in either. But with the Mitts, now we have access to Dark Death Mountain. We can get to the Mire area. I think Goomba's gonna go somewhere else. Oh, Goomba, please.
come on, Goomba. Okay, he's fine.
So yeah, those hearts.
Oh, and look!
Hey!
Hello, Boots.
Thieves Town value. Okay, now we're heading straight to Aga.
I don't think I've seen two items that good in a Crystal Thieves Town in a long time. Pendant Thieves, yeah, you know.
Goomba's gonna take care of hammer pegs here. I don't think he's gonna go pick up the smith because like he knows that this boots and lamp is a 100% leading to a mirror.
Yep.
Which in turn will lead to a the ability to full clear like swamp at least, as well as the other mirror checks.
Having that mirror makes the smith chain just so much more convenient.
No, I take it back. He's going to get the smith.
Okay. Yeah, that really surprises me. He knows where that mirror is.
I can turn in the smith real quick with the flute.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I just feel like when you know you're gonna get the mirror, just go get your mirror and just do it fast. But like we said earlier, maybe he still wants to see if he can get a better sword for Aga. Like I said, fighter sword Aga is just not fun. The Aga play part is fine. It's the rest of the dungeon that sucks.
The hammer helps alleviate it some, but like it's not ideal. I think this is just more evidence that Goomba wants to be very thorough in this in his routing so far. I don't see Goomba picking up the smith if he's up against like somebody who regularly beats him in races and stuff.
Sure.
Because like the better your opponent, the more you feel like, man, I have to skip things to do well. Not that Freddie's like, an easy win or anything. Like he's a good player too.
Okay, here we go. Now we got the Aga play coming. To answer the question in chat, no, Goomba knows that the mirror is on the lumberjack. Freddie has not looked at that yet.
Yeah, we probably won't see Freddie beeline to Aga Tower like Goomba is. More likely, Freddie's gonna just like do the boots checks and check Aga or check lumberjack as a part of those checks. And then when he gets the information, and it's like, okay, fine, I'll go do Aga.
And he'll have a little bit easier time because he does have that master sword that he picked up in Pod.
So it's getting that point in the seed where I start wondering, like, okay, so what do I actually need to finish this?
Mm-hmm.
And it's still quite a few items for us, even with the boots mirror being unlocked here. We need the fire rod still. We need the ice rod still. We're gonna need, X number of medallions.
Yep.
Maybe just bombos, but probably at least one more. And that Canis Amaria. And then for Goomba, he'll need another sword at least. But, we don't worry too much about swords until we get later in the seed. But until we find out where that other sword is, like, I think we have to consider Freddie as being slightly ahead. Like, if the other two swords are in, like, super... Oh, no!
We're taking a death to blind.
He does have a
Oh, he's got a
fairy.
fairy!
Yeah,
not realize he had a fairy. I mean, they picked up all those bottles. I guess one of them had to have a fairy in it, right? I thought they all had bees in them.
I say this all the time when I do comms, and also when I stream the game myself. It does not matter how suboptimally you do a fight; it will be faster than dying.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, it's nice if we could just play perfectly all the time, but I'll take a suboptimal fight over a death any day.
Oh, for sure. And now we get to count how many blue balls is Goomba gonna get in this Aga fight.
Guess it's in the chat. Anywhere between 0 and 15.
We have someone calling 12. Ouch.
Like, anything over, like, 5 is incredibly unlikely.
I'm gonna go with 2. Let's be nice. Let's have a nice simple.
It'll be 3. It's always 3.
I know, right? I was trying to avoid the obvious 3 number.
Freddie, are you skipping digging? No, just doing stump report again. Okay, interesting. I don't see that too often. I'm not sure if what the idea there is.
I could see doing that if you were going to grab the smith on your way back up. But that makes a little more sense if you have the mirror. Because obviously, it turns out the smith doesn't like it if you try and play this digging game, if you have him with you.
Yeah, I think he's planning to go back and pick up the smith and then save him for it.
Yep. All these bongs, I've completely lost track of how many blue balls we've got over here on Goomba's side.
Isn't like the ball counter some part of the fantasy points?
Oh, is there?
I thought so.
I haven't really paid attention to the fantasy league, but that's pretty amazing that somebody's
I'm not sure.
Fantasy league for this.
I'm not sure what it is exactly. Like, I thought it was like if you didn't have. You got fantasy points if the runner didn't have very many bonks, so anybody who picked Goomba would be upset with him over that.
Well, we do see from chat it was 3, so...
It's always 3. Alright, so Freddie's doing these boots checks now. This typically leads into checking Lumberjack, where we get that mirror information.
No, that was
Unless
a single
you forget it. Oh, like, which I've done before.
And more rupees.
Oh, wait, yeah. You can't check Lumberjack because he has the smith.
Oh, God.
That's not good.
Oh, no.
That's not good at all, you guys.
That's really bad.
Oh, no. Yeah, he knows he can't check Lumberjack. He's just going to flute and turn in the smith now. But when does he check Lumberjack? He already did the boots checks. And Goomba picks up this mirror, which Freddie does not know about.
And unfortunately, we're not getting anything out of it. I think it was just a piece of hearts. We're not getting anything over here. Okay, that was a quick desert ledge.
Just 20 rupees.
And we're gonna go to the mire area.
Or what do you do now, Freddie? Flies back to CAG. I think he's going purple chest.
I can't think of what else he'd be doing right now.
Well, this looks like a ped check because he doesn't need to come this way with the mitts.
Do that first, yeah.
Yes, pedestal check. Okay. I mean, that's fine. But I need him to go get the mirror.
And we'll get our first look at desert here. This was open a long time ago with the book, but not exactly under the most ideal circumstances. Although, to be fair, Goomba's item loaded isn't all that much better than it was
Oh, it's a lot
Well,
better
yeah,
now. He can actually finish it.
Well, that's a good point. Of course. But I mean, he's still only on fighter sword and a hammer for the actual fight. No fire rod. He could have gotten silvers if he'd wanted to. I believe he does know where that is.
Oh, he needs a bow. Just do NMG Lambo.
Oh, there you go.
I don't think Goomba is much of an NMG player, though, so I don't know how much practice he actually has with just the bow fight. It is one of the most difficult parts of the NMG run, is making your Lambo fight not a huge time loss. Both runners in Desert Palace. I'm really worried about Freddie. I'm going to say it like 100 more times until he does check that mirror. He needs that mirror to finish the game, and he has done all the things that you would normally do with checking Lumberjack.
Yeah, because I suspect after this, it's probably going to... He can check the mire area, but he won't be able to check, say, Checkerboard Cave. He had to go to Desert through the book instead of being able to mirror to it. And, of course, there's all of Dark Death Mountain that he can still look at. So there's still quite a few things he can get to before he gets to that mirror.
We may see him go back and, like, kill Homa or something. Did Homa have an item?
I believe so. Also, there's Pendant Ice Palace open to him, which is definitely not a place you want to go to if you can avoid it.
Yeah, that's a lot more reasonable check, I guess.
Although, on the other hand, if Pendant Ice Palace has something, he's got the bombos to get through it, and Goomba can't go there.
Yeah, which can be both bad and good. Like, if Ice has something, then great. Like the Fire Rod in Ice, Freddie...
Which happens.
Doing the bow fight. Looks like he has practiced this.
Oh, that looks really good so far.
First cycle. Nice second cycle. Ah, misses him. Alright, does not manage to kill him in the third cycle, but still a very fast bow Lambo. I would take that fight any day. And a sword!
A sword! Okay, so, you know... I don't know if he'd prefer to be stuck on Master Sword, but he will be able to finish the game with that Master Sword.
So that sword we kind of bought ended up not being all that important. Like, you know, Tempered's like really nice to have and everything, but Goomba's not going to need it to finish the game.
No. Might make it more likely he goes ahead and picks up those silvers, so he doesn't have to do the full-on 24 spins on the the silverless part. But
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go pick up silvers, like either on the way to Ice Palace or just after Swamp at some point.
Yeah, probably after Swamp. He hopes to avoid Ice Palace, of course.
All right, Freddie going after Lambo as well. Working in some Master Sword spins, and has the bow prepared if he needs it. He's getting through it pretty quick. Yeah, that was. I think that was the same number of cycles as Goomba had.
And gets his Tempered Sword for it.
That was really well done.
Looks like Goomba's gonna do some of these mirror checks, maybe to take that into Swamp Palace. And we don't need money anymore, so those 300 rupees will stay there.
Freddie headed back to the Dark World at Village of Outcasts. I think the only thing he has over here is Purple Chest.
I do believe that's correct. I think we're going to get a Bombos tablet check for Goomba, and then I'm going to guess after that, then it's going to be Swamp Palace.
So if Freddie continues after Hammer Pegs and gets a Purple Chest with it, that will be a point in his favor because Goomba coming over here and doing Swamp and Bombos without Purple Chest, like when he does Purple Chest later, it's gonna have to be like by itself. So he'll probably be putting it off for quite a while.
Yeah, I don't see him going back for Purple Chest anytime soon. And Freddie just gonna go ahead and save and quit with the Purple Chest and turn it in that way. Because, well, again, no mirror, so can't do it any other way. He needs that mirror. Yeah, don't leave that there.
Yeah, the ideal situation for Freddie to like stay in this race right now, assuming that he continues putting off the mirror for forever, is for Purple Chest to have something that is required but also doesn't lock very much. So like a
Ice
required
rod
medallion or the ice rod, exactly. And it is just bombs.
None of the above. Because we still need, like, on Goomba's side, he has nothing for Turtle Rock. No rods, no cane, and no battalions. Okay, there's the ice rod. But that doesn't get him into Turtle Rock, so...
Everything's coming up, Goomba! Oh, I missed the medallion check. It looks like a ether, maybe? What was it, chat? You guys can see better than we can. It was Bombos? Okay. Alright, well that's good for Freddie, though.
Yep.
Like, he already has that out-of-the-way item. Goomba has access to quite a few things that are not Eastern Palace.
He's not going back to that area for a while, and like you said earlier, more likely he does Pod first and then Eastern.
Yeah, unfortunately, Freddie, without the mirror, he doesn't have that many options available to him. He's going to have to make this dip into Mire without the cane. But again, this could pay off as well. Like, if he finds something here, specifically the Cane of Samaria, that would give him a nice lead over Goomba. Oh, that's weird. Goomba's doing... I've never seen anybody do this. Like, go left side before the south chest. I guess this is faster if you're 100% going to do left side.
Yeah, if it's either faster or probably pretty darn close. And I guess he figures he's missing so much stuff, I'm going to go ahead and do left side anyway. It's a little bit faster if you're going to do it anyway, to do it before the back. Most runners will do the back first and then go back into the dungeon. But in this case, he needs at least 3 items. He's at least 3 items away.
The primary concern here for Goomba is he hasn't found map or compass, and it is possible, although unlikely, that map and compass are the 2 items on the left side, and it was 100% skippable.
Yeah, and when that happens, it feels bad. It feels really bad if you get over there and you see a map and a compass.
Yeah,
I had that happen. It happened to me once, and I'm like, yeah, never again. If I don't have map or compass, there's no way I'm going left side first.
But this is really just more evidence towards Goomba's routing strategy here in the sea. Just very, very thorough. He hasn't tried to skip anything. Except Purple Chest, I guess. I guess you could make a case that he's been skipping Purple Chest.
And there's a compass.
It's a compass!
Uh-oh!
Oh my god, Goomba! Goomba, please!
Okay, at least it's an item. Okay, right. We're good.
That's not bad.
And I don't believe we've seen anything in Mire yet. There's a couple small keys. And we have to do this the slow way without a fire rod. And there's the cane.
Yeah, this is really bad news for Freddie, because Goomba's Mire trip is going to be a single dip. If not in go mode, even. Lumberjack, man, I'll get you every time.
Yeah, the cutscene chest even worse with Lamp than the earlier one.
Yeah, I mean, people try and skip the cutscene chest all the time, even if they have the fire rod. And the lamp is just even slower. It may just be required though. Then there's the ether medallion for Goomba.
Yeah, we don't know yet what the Turtle Rock requires, so that could be useful.
Yeah. Yeah, so for Goomba right now, he needs to go to Eastern at some point. But that's all we know. Like,
and we do see the big key in one of the worst possible places.
oh, so that's nice at least that the cutscene chest was required.
I mean, on Goomba's side, he got the big key in the waterfall room, which means if there's an item in the big chest, he has to still go back in again after already doing left side.
Has he found the map yet?
That I'm not sure.
Looks like Freddie found his second item.
I want to say he hasn't, so if we don't see a map here, then if we see a map here, then that's when it gets really bad. No, he does not have a map yet. So if Argus can just be nice and drop something else, then we're good.
Wow, Goomba, not even one cycling ice rod Argus. I expect more from you.
And that is a map.
Item, yeah.
And there's an item in the big chest, so we'll see if he decides to go back in.
I mean, he's avoided skipping like everything so far. I imagine he will.
Pretty much.
It does feel bad to go back in, but it's a lot faster than like one item on left side swamp or something.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, he's not leaving anything behind. Very thorough routing from Goomba.
So here's an interesting question. We're not able to get to the big chest in Hera earlier. I wonder if either of these runners will go back to that.
I think it's pretty likely we'll see that from Goomba actually. If we assume he's going to continue routing thoroughly, he's definitely going to be up on the mountain before he goes over to Pod and Eastern. So he won't be in go mode.
Okay, we do need that ether.
Oh, nice fetch quest. Goomba going after his silver arrows here. I don't think he's going to continue on into Ice Palace.
No.
And there's the fire rod up on Super Bunny Cave. So that's just another location Freddie can go that is not Lumberjack. Thankfully, he's not going to be able to follow that fire rod into Turtle Rock. But
oh, absolutely.
He may follow fire rod / bombos into Ice Palace before he checks Lumberjack.
I mean, he already had Ice Palace because of the bombos. He might go ahead and finish up Skull Woods, but we know there's no more items left there, so that's just going to be just as quick as doing hours later.
That's no mode for us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, it is definitely no mode.
Yeah, Ice Palace is nothing. So what I expect from Goomba here is he's probably going to go to the mountain soon, where he will find the fire rod, folk their Turtle Rock.
Yep. And then he'll have a decision to make. What pendant dungeon do I want to go to?
Yeah, and then when you're looking at these pendant dungeons, you have Eastern, Pod, and Ice Palace. Like, you're not taking Ice Palace.
I would hope not.
You do like the front of Pod, and then you do the front of Eastern. And then that'll be go mode, so I think he's going to be able to skip Ice Palace entirely.
Yeah, at the very least, it makes more sense to do, whether you do Eastern first or Pod first, it just makes more sense to do those two, because they're right on top of each other. And we are going to see a Spike Cave check over here on Freddie's side.
Goomba turning in his mushroom. Well, he walked in. Oh, he already turned it in, right.
That's convenient. The money's sitting there, right there. Grab it, buy the potion.
And there's the mountain play. Okay. Yeah, so Goomba does the mountain here. He gets Fire Rod, full clears TR. Maybe does Spike Cave and gets that last check in Hera, although honestly I doubt it, but you're just one item away. And then probably 2 pod afterwards. And Freddie's going Ice Palace.
Oh.
I mean, it makes sense for him,
it
right?
Does.
Like,
it totally makes sense. I mean,
like,
he might find a sword in here, you know? I mean, that wouldn't be a terrible thing, but it's not what he's looking for. It doesn't really... I mean, tempered to gold sword isn't a huge difference for runners like this.
Like, we don't know if he's, like, forgotten about Lumberjack or if he's just rounding it off. Say he does know that Lumberjack is a possibility. It's way less likely than just the answer being in Ice Palace. So it makes sense to go to Ice Palace. It's just really unfortunate because Lumberjack's the actual answer here.
And Goomba gets his Fire Rod, just needs to get that Bombos over in Eastern, and he will be in go mode. But questionable how long it takes for him to get there. I think you're right. I think it's pod then Eastern. And in fact, he hasn't even been over to Sarasso's closet, so he's probably going to check that on
No,
his
he
way
went to the
pod
closet
with that mirror. Oh, he did. Okay. Oh, right. He did it super early.
Yeah, he did the buy bombs into Sahaso's closet.
It's kind of a good news, bad news thing. The fact that he's kind of going to full clear TR right now, at least TR as a go mode dungeon just really often isn't. Sometimes it isn't any different. It certainly isn't much different in any situation than it is if you're full clearing it.
Yeah, it's
on the other
mostly
hand,
just like mimic table, honestly.
Yeah. On the other hand, if he already had that Bombos, we would get a go mode TR, and it would save him a little bit of time, and it would save him an extra trip up the mountain.
No, I wouldn't, because he'd still have to come up here for the Fire Rod.
You'd already have it. If you already had the Fire Rod right now. I'm sorry, if you already had Bombos right now. He could have... Oh, right, because he has to go back down to Skull Woods and finish... Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Still has to reclaim for
Still has to go...
So it ends up being the same.
Yeah, so I would have finished up TR, gone to get his tower, and realized, wait, I'm missing a crystal. That's never good.
I've certainly never done that before.
Oh no, never ever.
Well, I think I did it earlier this week where my last crystal was Hera. And I ran to GT thinking, oh, I'll just mirror in front of GT and do Hera. But it was one of those rare mirrorless scenes, unfortunately.
Oh no.
So I had to save and quit and reclimb the entire mountain. Yeah, not really sure what sparked this seed, or like what we can really blame for this. I mean, clearly it has to do with Freddeh not checking Lumberjack, but was that a conscious decision on his part? Just assuming it was nothing. Did he forget about it? Like, would he have remembered to check it if he didn't have the Smith following him? We'll have to find that out in the interviews.
Sure, and it could be the old, well, if it's Lumberjack, I've already lost, so I'll last location it anyway. That is definitely a thought process that sometimes goes through the runners' minds.
I mean, all is not completely lost, I guess. Like, it is possible that Goomba continues putting off Easton for a long time. Like, if Goomba ends up last location in Quapos, maybe Freddeh comes back. Because Freddeh would be able to skip, like, all those mirror checks and stuff.
And his swamp would be pretty quick because the location that cane and ice rod, you wouldn't have to do left side at all.
Yeah, so like, so say Goomba finishes up TR, he does Spike Cave and the Hera chest, goes to Ice Palace, full clears it, goes to Pod, full clears it, including the boss, and then goes to Eastern. Meanwhile, Freddie figures out he needs the mirror, gets the mirror, and immediately goes Swamp. And doesn't do left side. I'd say Freddie still has a chance then. It's so hard.
Unfortunately,
to doing Ice Palace before Pod.
You know, you got 5 items in Pod, 3 items in Eastern. Just makes more sense. Plus the green pendant, just makes more sense to just do that area first, as opposed to the 3 items in Ice Palace. And Goomba also could spend a little time if he decides to go grab that purple chest. So that's another item. I don't think we ever saw Graveyard Ledge because I believe Goomba did all those area locations with just the boots when he was picking up his.
Yeah, he didn't really have a choice there because the mirror was in the boots checks.
Yep. So there are a few one-off checks that Goomba could do to give Freddie a little more time, but it just seems unlikely.
Like it all comes down to right now. Like Freddie has to go get the mirror right now.
Yes.
For there to even be a chance. But he's not out of locations yet. He still has Skullwoods at least.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, he's got to do that regardless. So that one worries me less.
Are we going Aga? Is he gonna do Blind Lumberjack? This is Blind Lumberjack.
Oh my god. What?
Okay, so guys, he does not know the mirror is on Lumberjack. He does not have this information. This is Blind Lumberjack.
No, it's he never did.
Oh man, he's in front of this gate. Oh, I thought he already did this. Never mind. He's not killing Aga. Feels bad. Blind Lumberjack would have been so cool.
Key map compass and laser bridge. Ouch. And a piece of heart. Oh, but a refill piece of heart. So that's something.
I'm just thinking, oh my god, please don't make me go to a pendant. I don't want to go to a pendant for my one item. I'm curious to see how thorough Goomba's going to be. Because, like, you're one item from Go Mode, there's a ton of stuff in those bow dungeons. But he can also do Spike Cave and a big chest in Hera behind the tower room. Freddie setting up a death warp here off a long chain guard. Kind of frustrating when you have so many hearts. Oh, don't eat the fairy! Alright, fairy played nice today. The Bombos Medallion is just in the, I think it was the first chest.
I think it was the very first chest of Eastern.
So that's all Goomba needs to finish the game, is to just make a quick trip over to Eastern. But he has not been in Pod either, which is a lot more locations. He hasn't been in Ice, which is definitely an option he could take. Looks like Goomba's going to continue being thorough here, going at least over to Spike Cave. Yeah, he switches.
That makes sense.
This is Spike Cave only.
It makes sense to do this now. You don't want to have to come up the mountain just to do this again. And it's entirely possible he doesn't even remember that he didn't full clear Hera earlier, so... Which would be a good thing in this case. It can't be anything. I mean, it could be a sword. That's all it could be. But, you know, he'll be fine on Master Sword when it comes down to it.
I don't think he's worried about that. I guess if he does Pod first, like, he gets a sword there. So that's nice.
Oh, okay, red mail. That's a nice
Sure.
safety. Not gonna.
It does. It definitely makes the most sense for him to do pod. Like
Yes.
of all the options he has, like pod is the densest. It's the most likely to have stuff. You even save and quit straight to the Dark World. Look, pod's right there. But it's not his only option. Looks like he's gonna go grab Graveyard Ledge real quick.
Freddeh hasn't done flippers checks yet. Or at least, I think he did the flippers, he just needs to do Zora. So we're going to see that here. We've already seen that on Goomba's side. I believe that was blue mail.
I believe you're right.
Well, for him, it's red mail.
Wow, you're wrong, Tracy.
I
You were
know.
so wrong. Oh my god,
Wrong.
everybody point at Tracy.
No.
Point at Tracy and say it. You're wrong, Tracy. That was not blue mail at all.
The wrong medallion.
Oh,
over
the
here.
wrong Goomba. Link to the past, please. Freddeh headed to the Dark World once again. What is this play? Are we going Helmasaur?
Sure seems that way.
Maybe Catfish? Yeah, I don't think he said Catfish. Like, if it was Helmasaur, he just, like, flew over to 5. This looks like Catfish.
Looks like we're gonna need a couple of catfish plays right now.
Yeah, Goomba taking care of these little one-off overworld locations because he knows if he goes to either Pod or Eastern, he is going to full clear both of those dungeons before he leaves. Which, not fun if your answer is just like right on Catfish or something.
Okay, so what does he have left at this point?
different.
Just purple chest? No,
Looks like
he's not gonna do purple. He's gonna go do the pod now. Okay.
All right, so he'll do Pod, probably not kill the boss, and then mirror over to Eastern. He might do Eastern first.
Either way, you're gonna approach it from the Dark World because it's just easier to mirror into Eastern and then go back into the portal.
Have Pod available.
Meanwhile, let's see where Freddie's going. Back to the mire area. Back to the desert area. Oh, does he never check Agina?
Yeah, I think he's skipped this. Alright, Goomba going into Pod. So we know Pod's empty. He will find a sword, though, on the boatlock side.
That'll be a nice luxury for him.
And then it'll be a quick mirror after Pod to Easter and get that first chest. Like, the only question really here is, does he kill Helma or not? And I think he'd do Easter before killing Helma in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, the typical routing of a pod involves mirroring out to go back to Helma anyway, so it just makes sense. You full clear the rest of it, mirror out, do Eastern, and then come back into pod if you need to. Oh, is he gonna go for the hover? Ah, he went for it. I applaud him for going for it, but I can't hover to save my life. So when people tell me that's the hardest one, I believe them.
Goomba can hover. It's just not something that he can do like super duper consistently. So typically when I watch him play, when he's in a situation where like a hover would be a time save, he tries it once, and if he misses it, he just moves on.
Yeah, and I think that's a good way to approach it. And he even gets a fire shield out of it. Oh boy. Oh baby, fire shield.
With his tempered sword, Goomba will have a matching set of equipment. Red sword, red shield, and red armor. That's good for a 10% damage boost in phase 4 Ganon. So instead of 4 silver arrows, it's only going to be 3.6.
I did not know that.
Yeah, unfortunately the game rounds up, so it ends up not being a time save.
does get that tempered sword, so.
I'm just kidding, by the way, guys. It's not a real thing.
No.
Sometimes I joke.
Oh, we are going to see the big chest over here in Hera on Freddie's side. And just figures, just take the damage.
Yeah, he's setting up a death
Just gonna
warp.
death warp anyway, you know.
Freddeh takes his death warp, and then he'll have to reclimb the tower to get to that big chest. Probably do Hera Pot.
He did it pretty quickly the first time, so no reason not to just do it again.
Yeah, he just boots this time too, so it's even faster. Ooh, spin speed setup. This is fun. So the idea here is you activate spin speed on the little manual stairs there leading to the map chest, and then you line up in this top left corner next to the staircase. And if you do it real nice, you can clip into the pot by 1 pixel, which lets you hookshot across.
Yeah, he had an easier time doing it the first time though without the boots. That's kind of.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight setup. All right, Goomba gets his last chest. That's not the boss. He's walking out as we expected, where he will now find his go mode in Eastern Palace. And that'll do it. Goomba is in go mode 120.02.
Did I just
Freddeh
see
gets
some
it.
rupees? What? I didn't see what was in there.
It was 300 rupees in the big chest.
Okay.
But Freddeh gets the Hera Pot. And it's the bad news that he still has something to go find.
Okay, what is? God, does he have anything else left at this point?
I'm not sure. Yep, Helmasaur. He's gonna kill Helmasaur. Ugh, sucks.
This has got to be. You know, at this point, I think he's pretty much just written off Lumberjack.
Yeah, he's either
As
just
a possibility.
forgotten it or just assuming that if it's anything, then he lost anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but like you always hate when you can call a race this early, but there really isn't any way for Freddeh to come back anymore.
No.
But he can still showcase his skills, do his very, very best.
Yeah, and to the point, Chad, about locations to remember and track correctly. Let me tell you, tracking when you're playing is a skill unto itself. So.
It happens to me like once a week where I lose a bunch of time because I just didn't track something or
Yep.
forgot a location. It's usually not this bad. Like every now and then it'll be like I lost location because of it, but you know, sometimes even just like, oh, I could have like just skipped Ice Palace if I remembered this first. Now, it was the worst possible location for the big key, so I'm just going to spend the maximum amount of time here. But the vanilla location, it's sad how the vanilla locations for items are always the worst place for them.
They really are.
Makes you think maybe the Link to the Past developers, they didn't really have rando in mind when they were choosing where items go.
Yeah, funny that.
Like, why wouldn't you just put the ice rod in the first chest? That just makes more sense, rando developers, or Link Pass developers.
It looks like Goomba's going straight to the cutscene chest, so that'll save him a little bit of time.
You don't see this too often, but
No.
he did find a small key in that the
That
first.
which does
portrait.
mean, yep,
Yeah,
that
so
does
this
mean it
has
will
to
be a big key.
It
Yep.
has to be the big key. And with that big key, Goomba will head to Vitreous for his 6th crystal. Freddie takes down the mask, phase 2, and there it goes. Tempered Sword's pretty good, I guess.
And a blue boomerang.
Not what he wanted to see.
Not what he wanted.
Might as well go pull Pet for funsies.
Get that heart container off of there.
Is that what it was?
I believe. Well, yeah, I believe it was.
I think it was
No,
bombs.
was it bombs?
I can't
I
remember.
thought it was the. Seeds start running together. It was one of those.
We've only
like,
watched one seed, Tracy.
know.
What are you talking about?
Well, it's not like I haven't played them or watched you or watched other races.
Alright, so I think that was Freddy's last location before Lumberjack.
He's thinking about it.
Yeah, this is what did I skip?
Yep, that's exactly what this is.
The frustrating thing is when you're in this situation, right, where you can't remember exactly what you skipped and you're going around double checking things, is when you find other locations that you skipped but weren't the answer.
Yep.
It's like, oh my god, how did I skip so many things? Oh, you did the shovel.
Yep. Oh, we still have Skullwoods to finish up on Goomba's side.
I was hoping you would forget.
No, I did that earlier. That was earlier.
What did I skip? Did I skip Ice Rod Cave? I don't think so. Might as well go check it. I like the confidence of switching to bomb.
Oh, he did skip
Oh,
it.
he did skip Ice Rod Cave.
He's like,
This feels really bad, right?
this is
My
not-
god, it was Ice Rod Cave. I can't believe it. Oh, I'm so stupid. I can't believe I skipped Ice Rod Cave. Da-da-da-da-da. Whoa. Oh, okay, so
not good.
clearly Magic Bat is the answer. I can't believe I skipped Ice Rod Cave. All right, I'll go use this.
Turn that
and I'll get my
powder in.
mirror. So it's like, I can't believe I skipped Ice Rod Cave. I feel really bad about it. I'm so embarrassed, but at least I figured it out. We figured it out. We found the answer. I know what I did wrong. Here it is. Here's my progression.
And it's a red boomerang.
What? God, I hate when that happens to me. Very fast fight from Goomba there. And that is number 7.
That is number 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So,
Yep, 7.
so we have this thing we need to do.
Am I doing it? I can do it.
I just did it.
Fine, I don't want to do it anyway. All right, guys, we're headed to Ganon's Tower. In Ganon's Tower, there are... Hold on, let me count them real quick. 22 locations for the Ganon's Tower Big Key. One of those will be the correct one. Goomba's going to go through. We'll count with him. And if you'd like to, you can guess which one will have that Big Key. 1 through 22. If you guess correctly, you get imaginary internet points, which you can lord over other people who care about such things.
You get bragging rights.
Make sure that you guessed your number after Tracy put in the command, after the bot said the game has started. If you did it before,
and provided that it is... And provided it's an integer between 1 and 22. Although as much fun as I have with some of the strange numbers people come up with, you're not going to win if you put, pi.
Well, that did work with the old bot.
Oh,
I'm not
did
sure
it really?
if it works with this one. Yeah, I remember at least one race where somebody went with like a guess of 24.5 or something stupid like that.
They like rounded or something weird like
that.
Yeah,
it was like it happened to be the closest to the correct answer. Nobody actually guessed correctly. It was Sky Shadow was in the chat. There you go. 4.5 was the correct answer. That's pretty hilarious. This is a different bot, so I don't know if that actually works this time. I wouldn't risk it though. Just guess real numbers, you guys, or not real numbers. Well, real numbers and integers. I guess they're all real numbers.
Not if you put an I in front of them.
Somebody guesses an imaginary number and wins. I will. I'll eat something that you're not supposed to eat, like a hat. I will eat my hat if somebody wins with an imaginary number.
And number 1 on the torch is just arrows. I'm going to guess we're going to do a Dark Magician start at least here. Since nobody actually goes full right after this. 2 is a heart container. 3 is a key. 4 is a key. 5 is 300 rupees, and we are mirroring out.
I like Rando Rush, personally. I do it every now and then, where you go full right, but stop after Rando Room and mirror after Rando Room.
6 is a key. 7 is the compass, and we are going to continue on this direction. Probably going to run right through Tile Room.
Freddeh killing Mocula. I assume just because he has nothing else to do, he knew there wasn't an item here.
Oh, there's our gold sword. On 8, 9 is rupees, 10 is bombs, 11 is more bombs. Not even gonna go get the extra key. Gonna mirror right on out, go back to the left side. Now Freddie's going to Aga.
Did he check it?
I don't think he did.
I can't recall if he checked it.
Okay. 12! It's like 12 is our big key.
Congratulations to...
Let's see if I get this right key. There we go.
Andy
I did it right!
Andy Montana, congratulations. You are smarter than everybody else. Except for Doppelopoulos. You're only faster than Doppelopoulos. But you're not smarter than him.
And really, there's no reason for Goomba at this point to check anything else. He's pretty much got everything he could. I guess half magic is the only thing he this point that would do any good for him. And probably not going to
Where
look
was
for that. We haven't seen it yet. Oh no, Freddeh
Yeah, yeah.
has it.
No,
I did not see him get it.
It was the
So
big
it's not-
Chestermeyer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Goomba was never attacking big Chestermeyer.
No way. But my point is, I don't think he's going to be wanting that half magic enough to actually check anything on his way up at this point.
Okay.
There's literally nothing else that can help him at all.
I don't know what that setup was, but it worked.
That was a nice kill.
It was a weird setup. Like he
Yeah,
walked up to the top left and then checked
He
his
looked
mark.
like he was going to set up to the fire rod, but he already had the bow selected, so... Oh, but hey, whatever works, right?
Yeah, you got the one cycle.
And of course, the fun wizard rooms with the cane. I just love the strat on that. It just the first time I saw that, I'm like, I was just amazed, like that you could do something so cool with an item that I had pretty much thought useless. It's like one of those items that has so many good subtle.
Yeah, especially in glitch logics. There's a lot of stuff that the cane breaks in the game.
And a lot of them have just been found, too.
Alright, Freddeh has beaten Goomba to Aga. It's just the wrong Aga.
Wrong Aga. And Goomba is going to have to grab this magic pot here. Convenient spot for it.
What, no hover attempt? Come on, Goomba.
Alright, time for Aga 2. Oh, just missed the triple there.
Yeah, it was a friendly pattern. He got 2 out of 3.
We could have done the one
Less-
cycle anyway.
Less friendly than that one.
Wow, that was a terrible pattern. Just one more shot, I believe. Yep.
Good, I got my... I don't know how
we
Goomba
are-
feels, but anytime I finish Aga in like less than 5 cycles, I feel like it went well.
And we get simultaneous pyramid. And I think Freddeh will actually get his mirror before Goomba finishes.
So he won't need us to explain to him what happened, at least.
And there it is. Freddeh gets his mirror.
Yeah, he's still missing some other items for Goomba, but they're all in Swamp.
Yep.
Okay, were they all in Swamp?
I believe they were all in Swamp.
Ether,
Ether
Cane,
maybe
and
not,
Ice
but
Rod?
Cane and Ice Rod for sure were.
No, it was Ether in the back, and then Kane in the south chest and Ice Rod in the bomb chest. Everything's just in swamp.
And congratulations to Goomba finishing up with an official SRL time of 1:37.50. Get your GGs in chat if you have not already.
I wanted to do the number.
Oh, okay. Next time.
Alright. GG Goomba. We should be getting some interviews from our runners as soon as they receive the invite to the voice channel. I don't know what's going on with Freddeh. I guess he's like typing in IRC or something. That's fun. Yep. Ah.
And welcome in Goomba. Congratulations. GG on your first win in the league season.
Hey, GG.
So by now I think you know what happened. That poor mirror.
Yeah, we talked it over in IRC.
What were your
Unfortunate.
Yeah, what were your thoughts? I mean, because you checked it super early. What were your thoughts when you saw it?
I mean, I always feel really good when there's Lumberjack progression because I always check Lumberjack really early. So, felt pretty good about that. It's always so hard to tell in 1v1s how you should, because like, I did left side swamp for nothing, I did pod for nothing, but like, there was a pretty high probability my opponent did those too, so like, I wasn't really sure how to feel at any point.
You play about as thoroughly as I've ever seen you play. Like I typically think of you as like the God Visioner, you know, like you skip things, but not things that make sense to me, and it just works out. But in this race, you skip nothing except for the big chest and Hera.
Which, to be fair, you were kind of forced to skip at the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
We're joined by Freddeh as well, who did end up forfeiting you guys.
Yeah, it was a bit too long to finish. Usually I want to try to finish for the fantasy's sake, but
Yeah,
sorry,
it was
everyone asked me.
Yeah.
for quite a bit longer, unfortunately. I
Although
mean,
Yeah.
it would have gone pretty quickly because literally
apparently everything else
he needs in
swamp.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't take me too long. It still would have been another like 20 minutes to a half hour, and I'd rather just go root on my teammate who's running in like 10 minutes. So,
That's fair.
or both of our teammates, I should say, since same teams.
So tell us what actually happened with the Lumberjack. Did you
I brain farted. Usually I
intentionally
check
skip
it.
it?
No, I usually check it after I had bonk rocks, but I had the smith, so I couldn't.
Mhm. Yep.
And then I just completely, it just disappeared from my mind. You'll see as I was looking around trying to figure out something like, wait, did I do Ice Rod Cave? Oh yeah, because I usually do Ice Rod Cave at a different time too when I have Fleetland like that, but I didn't have boots. So I'm like, oh, I'll wait till I have boots. And then just completely forgot that it existed. And then I got the powder. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is great. Sure, whatever, fine. And I did powder and it came up as nothing. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
still
kind
nice.
of what we were saying in chat as you were checking those items, or saying it on the comms as you were checking those items.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll do Skull Woods. And then I got to Skull Woods, did the thing. I'm like, I checked Cape. Wait, did I ever check Lumberjack? Thinking back, like, oh right, oh no. So like literally, as I was about to go do school, like I just ended up finishing school anyway because I was there, but I was just like,
The
okay,
real
well,
kicker
I'm just gonna
was,
go straight to Aga. Screw it.
was Ice Rod Cave.
Oh, I
Like
know.
that must have been like super frustrating because there was a period of time where like you had the map open for a while. It's like, what did I skip? Oh, right. And then you go to Ice Rod Cave and it's a fetch quest. Then you go turn in the fetch quest thinking this is probably the answer, surely. And then nope.
Yeah,
it's the
surely this
boomerang.
is the answer. I'm like, oh dang it, it's gonna be friggin' Hera Big Chest again because I just watched Trace before that Hera Big Chest.
Oh no.
So I'm like, okay, no, oh god, it's on Helma. I knew I shouldn't have left Pod. Wait, okay, what did I forget?
Yep.
Oh,
I
Ice
think we've
Ride
all
Cave.
been there before.
Oh, fetch
Oh,
quest.
for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Okay, it's a fetch quest. God dang it! And then I was, I don't know. I kind of tilted myself doing like, even though I shouldn't have, because apparently that actually would have been probably a good boost for me doing EP early like that. I just kind of let that tilt me into oblivion, basically. That's why I did the pod play early, which got me a sword, which I guess works.
I
But
really didn't dislike the Eastern play in the situation you were in. Like,
yeah,
you seemed to-
Yeah, the
and
problem for
Eastern
me
was, like, all
was
intense.
I already checked the hospital's closet before I got the bow. So at that point, I didn't
Yep.
really want to go back to Eastern.
oh yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I'd already gotten all that because I went straight to the mountain. I think when I got hook shot. Yeah, because I got
Yeah.
hook shot
And
and
then
then
the other
went to the
concern-
mountain.
The other concern for Goomba was he put off the flipper checks for a while because he was waiting for his Zora money.
Oh,
in,
yeah.
in that same vein, like when you're going to Eastern, he's missing more than just the Moon Pearl.
Right.
So it makes more sense for him to continue being more thorough and checking the denser locations first.
Yeah. I don't know. I should have just done my normal routing. I don't know why I tried to change it up.
Because Goomba's really
EP
good.
EP is tilting. That's just what happens. Is EP is tilting.
I'd play really weird against Goomba too, man. Goomba scares me.
Hey man, you farmed
Gotta
me in
turn
the game the
nameplates
other
on.
night.
Like 20 seconds.
Well,
Oof.
you know, that's more than no seconds.
And I tell you, I did not play nearly as thoroughly as you did here today
Well,
because I knew you were in the race.
Ugh. Well, things
I don't know.
happen.
I tend to play a lot more thoroughly in 1v1s than I do in the other race.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say you
Yeah.
went like a little beyond though, like more than just thorough. Like even like little things like Swamp. When you went to Swamp, you did left side first, but you did it before finding a map or compass. So like when you're going to left side, were you at all concerned about it just being map and compass there? Also, by the way, nice bomb.
Especially when I think the first one was the compass.
That is the risk, but I figured the only way I'm not doing left side swamp here is if it is the map and compass, which is unlikely, or if I get the cane and the fire rod, which is also unlikely. So I'll
And of
just
course,
do it.
one of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah,
And
it
one of
ended
those.
up it ended up not hurting you, and it wasn't even like really a boon either because you had to go back in for the big chest anyway.
Yeah.
It just like it was just it was really indicative of how you were approaching the seed. I think like just really making sure you weren't going to ruin everything by skipping a single item location.
I mean, at that point, you're missing at least what 2-3 items.
I was missing.
You were missing Fire Rod,
Oh,
Ice Rod, Cane, and
Yeah, I
Medallion.
needed cane, I needed bombos, I needed both rods, and I didn't know what the Turtle Rock medallion was, but I assumed I probably needed a second medallion. as
Sure.
well.
Yeah. I mean,
At
like,
that point, you just do left side swamp. I agree. That's
yeah,
what I would have
I
done
totally
too.
understand like full clearing swamp in that situation. It's just doing left side before map or compass scares me a bit.
I don't know.
It's never map and compass left side.
Until
Every time I
it
think
is.
it is, I find map and compass in the friggin'. Usually, I find map and big key in the sunken chests. Every time I think it's map compass left side.
Yeah, I've done that too.
So
Or in the waterfall room where it's like, oh, I'm so close. I haven't seen a map and a compass yet.
So in vain
Yeah.
with
And then
your
next
with your thorough play there, Goomba, like after Turtle Rock, I thought maybe you'd skip out on Ice Rod Cave and Hera, or not Ice Rod, but Spike Cave and Hera. You ended up doing only Spike Cave. Was there any consideration for going back into Hera for that item?
Not really, honestly.
It's just like, I don't blame
it was
him.
like
I
one of
didn't
the
do it for the
slowest
longest
possible
time.
checks you could have done. But
That's like
it was,
90 seconds for one item.
it was the last thing on the mountain. No, more than that because you have to like climb the tower too. So it's a big like.
Yeah, I mean the basement is like
Like
60,
almost 2
70
minutes.
seconds probably, and then I have to go back up to the big chest.
Yeah, it
Yep.
takes
It's not good.
forever, especially when you don't have mirror. Trust me. Like the only reason I did Hera before Pod when I was doing my last couple checks, well, what I thought was my last couple checks, was because I thought I knew Goomba wouldn't be doing Hera first. So like, Hera's gonna come here absolutely last, so I'll at least try to save one check. Turns out, joke's on me. But
Yeah.
but yeah, no, things happen. I'm not too mad about it at this point. Like I let myself get in my own head. Did a full seed before. Yeah, things happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Even 1v1s, if I feel like I have the execution advantage, I tend to just play super thorough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
a good idea to do that,
Makes
honestly.
tons of sense.
Even if you don't
I mean,
have
honestly,
execution
I've
advantage.
never really watched you play, so I don't even know if I have the execution advantage, but I assumed I did, so...
I consider
mean,
myself a
it's
better
a-
router than execution, so I'm
It's
waiting
a
for the
fair
later weeks.
assumption. It's a fair assumption, Goomba, because you are really
pretty good.
good, dude.
Pretty good at
I don't
this
know
game.
if you're aware of this.
I mean,
Pretty good, pretty good.
I'm pretty good, I guess. I don't know.
It's all
Results
right.
seem to indicate as such, at least. I try not to get too overconfident, though.
Well, it definitely worked out in your favor today, being thorough. Like there wasn't really all that much you could have skipped extra. Maybe like a few of those overworld checks, like the Greater Ledge Catfish play.
Yeah, the graveyard ledge with the quake.
Oh, yeah,
I was
that
really
weird.
excited about the
other
Quake for a
medallion.
second, and I'm like, oh wait, that's not the right one. Yeah. I feel like if I had been,
A little more aggressive.
if I had, yeah, like if I felt like I needed to play more aggressive, I would have skipped left side swamp. I would have gone to pod and eastern quite a bit earlier. Probably would have skipped spike gate, stuff like that. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
it wouldn't have been like a huge difference maker. Just like a few minutes swing in the other direction.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing was really out of the way in this seed except for that Bombos medallion and the mirror. And you had the mirror information like right away.
Yeah,
Do you
get the other
typically do
information.
the lumberjack check at the start of the seed?
Almost always, yeah. I mean, it's not even because I want to check lumberjack. I just go up there because I want the tree pulls and bush crabs, and I mean, it's right
Yeah.
there. May as well take a peek.
Sure. All right. Anything else either you want to add before we close it out?
I just want to give some shout outs to Shireen for putting me on his fantasy team. I'm sorry I bonked so much in the Aga fight. It's all for you, buddy.
Rude.
Bonk's part of the fantasy stats. Wow.
You ended up with 59 bonks. So let's see.
Yeah.
There's a lot of blue balls, especially if you miss one of them like I did. That was
Like,
probably the
giving
more frustrating
plenty of
part.
time to farm up the bonk counter.
I missed the last hit on Aga, and the next three were blue balls, so I had to wait an entire other cycle to
Oh, no.
finish them. It was
I
the
almost missed
worst.
one because I was too busy bonking, and then I had to like
I know.
panic and just start
I was
slashing
just-
at it.
Like I knew I had lost by that point, so I was just slashing to the music. And I like slashed slightly too early on one of the hits and missed it.
Usually
pretty
what I
bad.
do to pass the time. I had better things to do this time though.
Yeah, that's something I gotta remember for next time. Gotta run up that bonk count.
Yup. You got it.
It's very important.
Ready? Anything else you got for us today?
Nope. Thank you for coming. I'm sure it was great. I don't think I will watch this one back, so I don't tilt myself further. However,
Totally understandable.
sounds like it was a lot of fun at least. And thank you for the tracker as well, and to Fear Agent for putting the whole tournament on, and crew.
Yeah, nah.
What he said.
Yeah, we should go ahead and
League, sorry.
tell you all to follow these runners and my co-commentator Koi, and do need to shout out our tracker Skybright, or just Sky as on the Twitch address you see there. So go ahead and follow them as well. But yeah, that'll be it for us. Let's see what we have on the schedule today. And like Koi said earlier, there are lots and lots and lots of things on the
There are
schedule.
so many.
So I'm only gonna shout out like maybe today's stuff, but there's a lot more coming up the rest of the week as well. First, I got to get to the right page here because there are a couple matches starting right about now. I
Oh,
do
I already
believe.
have the page open. I can do
Oh,
it.
go for it. You do it.
All right, okay. So at 4 o'clock we got Humbug versus TJ Maelstrom. 4 o'clock we got Illis versus Yaga. 7 is Oro versus Little Miss Arcade. 7:40 it's Dr. Bob versus Kuchiri. 8 is Kyong versus Sneaky Woba. 8:40 is Worldwide Wimpy versus Zelda's. 9:10 we got One Up versus Fat Boy. 9:10 we have T-Train versus Face Just a Boy. At 9:10 we have Tan versus HXC Jetters. We got 10:40 we got Lumaga versus Varante. So yeah, we're not missing any races today, you guys. Anytime you happen to be around, you got Twitch available. Open it up, Speed Gaming 1 through 6, or the ALTTPR League channels. I think 1 through 4.
At least 2, because I see 2. I see 2 listed. So
I think there's 4 of them
5.
total. Are there 5
are there
total?
5 already?
There's a lot.
They-
We have
There's a lot.
streams there.
And every one of
Everybody's
those,
getting a restream.
every one of those, this list is being restreamed. So definitely.
Also, go watch Illis versus Yakimoth on 3 because that's the other half of this matchup between our two teams.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's starting in about 6 minutes, you guys. Over
Yeah,
on
that sounds
Speed
like a good
Gaming
one, too.
3.
I'll
Make
be
sure to
there for
follow
sure.
all those channels. Follow our runners. Follow our tracker, who is a person whose name I don't have. Darn it.
It's right there in chat. Anyway, follow Sky.
Sky.
yeah.
Skybright. There you go. Got it.
Doing the tracking in the background, making it so we don't have to. Thank you very much, Sky.
Appreciate
Definitely, those trackers. I mean, they really do the hard work behind the scenes. So I always appreciate them.
I was so close to being prepared. But yeah, that's going to be it for us, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.